Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past Resurrected Video 6. In this episode, we will finish Dungeon 6 and Dungeon 7, ideally.
Alright.
While getting the final piece part.
Are we really on Video 6?
Yes. Because I spent forever in Dungeon 5, way too long.
Okay, for some reason I just thought we were on Video 5.
Nope.
Oh.
Probably because last video was more of a collectathon than actual dungeon diving. So, much to my dismay, I spent way too much time in, as I already said, Dungeon 5. Going back and looking at that. So, this week our question is a continuation of... I shouldn't say this week, that was incorrect. This video, our question is a continuation of what we were sort of
discussing last time.
We were kind of off on a tangent last time, and I'd like to continue that tangent.
Nice.
The question last time was, do you think a franchise is unkillable? And the tangent we got off to, and the question this week is, yet again, not really related, or this time, not really related to Zelda, but the question is, what are your thoughts on the fact that in the modern game industry, most developers are looking for a sequel?
Oh yes, that's what we were talking about. Alright.
Yes.
We can talk a good bit about that one, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll probably dedicate the last 10 minutes on that one.
Yeah.
Either that or we'll come to an agreement in two and sit there and be silent, or maybe, consider this, we'll talk about the fucking game that we're playing.
That's a good one.
I wouldn't count too much on it.
Neither would I, but, who cares?
So we got one piece of heart. We're going to come up here, and we will, without getting hit, ideally.
Way to dodge.
Yay, rupees.
And yay, another piece of heart. Now we have half a heart.
Mm-hmm. And the other half we will retrieve in and around Dungeon 7.
Okay, and we're on our way to 6 right now?
And 6 is right here.
Oh, this is 6? Okay.
This is 6, and this is why we needed the Ether Medallion.
Cool. At least they were nice enough to put the little picture on the ground so you know to use it.
It's, and the whole rain stops, and it's a nifty visual effect, but it would have been, I think, pretty cool if somebody had said somewhere in the game, use ether here, and, it'll cause, some sort of sign that tells you what to do without straight up telling you.
Yeah.
Like, ether has the power to stop rain or something.
Yeah.
You get what I'm getting at, though.
Uh-huh. No. I do get it. That's...
I'm not saying that it's bad that the sign is there. I'm just saying, I wish they would have explained why it made the rain go away.
Yeah.
Kind of as a loss about that specific aspect of the spell.
I don't know. I would imagine, somewhere, maybe in the, owner's manual or something, it has a detail on the spell, or I would think, but...
Nope.
Oh, yeah?
Not to my knowledge.
Uh...
And of course, it might have been somewhere in that little written bit that I completely skipped.
That's quite possible, too.
So, hey, remember that cane that was such a pain in the ass to get last video?
Let's
put it to good use here.
What, is it just temporary invulnerability?
While it is up, you are invincible, and I believe the advantage of it over the cape is that it takes less mana.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I'm not 100% sure on that, because I don't ever use either item as a...
actual item?
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Oh well. Way to kill those floating skulls.
Which actually have quite a bit of mana. Hell.
Nice.
I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing here.
Ooh, bitchy looking room.
with tiles that will appear from the ground and attempt to kill you.
Oh, those are fun.
But we don't have to deal with them.
Aw. Well, I suppose that should be a good thing.
As you walk up nearly right on a...
I saw that, damn. Try and trick you there.
It's not very nice of them at all.
Nice. Any reason you pushed the blocks? And...
Yep,
Oh,
because
do
there's
you have...
more in here.
I'm assuming you have to do like all 4 at the same time?
Not at the same time, but with enough time that,
Well, yeah, you have to have them
the other
all
ones don't,
lit.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to have them all lit at the same time, is what I meant.
And now the screen shakes, and there's a grand rumbling,
Okay.
which would be much more impressive if you could actually see what the shit was going on. As it stands, all 4 torches go out long before we can see what's going on. There we go.
Nice. So what exactly just happened?
Well, if you come into this room over here, the wall got shoved way back up to here.
Which did what? Why was the benefit of that?
On reflection, I don't know. I don't think you can fall down that pit otherwise.
Oh, okay.
I could be completely wrong on that. Don't quote me. I'm not an expert.
Of course not.
I've already made many mistakes. I had to amend 2 of them.
Yeah, that's what you said. I need to go check that out.
So, it might not be a bad idea to watch some of the videos with annotations on, because we will not spam you with ads or subscription requests, because honestly, I don't care.
I don't either.
So, come over here.
Nice dodge of the floating red thingies.
Utilize the hook shot and the boots.
Ooh, the cane of Samaria.
And now we have the second cane, and if we open up our inventory, we have everything, including 4 bottles.
Nice.
In the Game Boy Advance version of the game, you actually get to keep the shovel.
Oh, yeah?
And the inventory is adjusted so that it has room for the shovel, as well as all 4 bottles being not in a sub-menu.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The Game Boy version of this is where I started. I sucked.
Honestly, I would not recommend the Game Boy version to anybody.
Any particular reason?
Quite a few. First of all, Link, I don't know who the hell thought it was a brilliant idea to add this, but whenever you swing the sword, Link does his little sound, which is just...
You're not a fan of Link's effort grunt? I get that.
It makes no sense in a 2D game. It makes even less sense in this one. So, there's that.
That's a minor annoyance, but I can get that. What else?
The audio isn't nearly as good. The audio quality. There's a few other reasons. I can't remember off the top of my head. I own it, but it's been forever since I played it because...
Why do that when you can have it?
Oh, the screen is just straight up, as was to be expected on the Game Boy Advance. Smaller.
Yeah.
Actually, I will go ahead and head for it here. There is an opportunity to make a little bit of money.
Alright. Magic powder that bitch, turn into a fairy.
Have to think about how to do it. Yeah, that works.
There you go.
I'll take a hit, but
yeah, bomb yourself while holding it. Ooh, lots of money.
There's going to be a fairy right here anyway, so big deal. And ordinarily, money would not be even slightly relevant. However, in the after this dungeon, oops, I need to actually hit the switch.
Nice.
In the
dungeon after this one, money is relevant because of something.
Not the dungeon, but the after this dungeon, you can go to a certain shop, and for a certain price, I'm not sure if it's 300. It might be 300. You can pick up the bomb that is required for the golden sword and silver arrows.
What's the difference? Just a bigger bomb, or?
Yes.
Oh.
The big bomb.
Oh. The increased explosives for no apparent reason that has a dumbass name like Samus's super missiles.
Samus's super missiles are awesome.
They are awesome, but they have a dumbass name.
Well, you know.
And now I miss Samus. I want to play Metroid again now.
Which one?
Either Zero Mission or Fusion, one of those two.
It's kind of hard to go wrong with Metroid.
Right? Well,
Don't
with any
like
of the
Zelda. Metroid, I
two.
love. Alright,
Yes.
they just come at you.
They just throw eyeballs at you. That's weird.
Oh, this would be a fun fight in 3D. Finally.
What? Just stand there and swing fast enough and they'll never reach?
I don't really know what to say other than it appears so.
That's pathetic and interesting and kind
I'm
of sad.
also getting hit by lightning.
Yes, getting hit by lightning is worth avoiding.
And now, once he's done shooting lightning at me...
Ooh, now he jumps at you. Kill the big eyeball. Surprised you didn't have to kill the little eyeballs. Or do they come back?
No, there's just those 4 of them just hanging out.
Right?
While Mama Eyeball here gets killed. I just attributed gender to an eye. That is rather...
Yay, another crystal.
Fantastic. I feel like my performance in this dungeon made up for...
Your performance in the last one?
Yeah. I don't know if anything will make up for that.
Nah, it's fine.
I know we've kind of given up on the whole speedrunning thing, but if there's ever just anything to be shameful about, it was running around completely lost there.
Yes.
Most shameful.
Aghanim.
So what we will do now is...
We're gonna go to that shop and buy the super bomb?
I don't remember exactly how much it costs.
Okay.
So just to be sure that I have the finances, I'm going to do something that I really should have done while I was in the area, but oops, we all make mistakes.
What are you gonna do, that digging farm game again?
No.
Something better?
Easy way to get 300 rupees, and that will ensure that we have, or assure we have the proper finances. On the upside, it is now a considerably shorter trek, because I can lift black stones.
Nice.
Just walk right up here. Job done. Lift this black stone.
So what's in here? Dark Town. I like Dark Town. It looks kind of cool.
The Thieves Town. Come down here.
Oh, I forgot about this little room.
Yeah, drop a bomb. I should have done this while we were here, but...
No, whatever, that's fine.
300. Just like that.
Nice.
Which
nice
will be more than enough.
Yes, so now we can go buy our power bomb.
Which can be a bit persnickety. I don't remember the exact rules with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's if you get hit, it goes off. You can't use your sword. I don't remember exactly how it functions.
It's fine. I forgot there was a super bomb until like 10 seconds ago. So.
Well, it's not fine because I'm going to basically just be avoiding every single enemy. Not jumping off of things, making it just nightmare. Set it off with A.
So was it really only like $100? Rupees, whatever?
Yep, we would have been fine, but better safe than sorry.
Yep.
I've erred so much that
Right.
this time I would rather just, like, right there, I accidentally placed it. Because it's, okay.
So how are you supposed to use the hammer and not... Or is the hammer not actually A to use?
This is what happens when you're playing on a PlayStation controller.
Oh,
And you
Nice.
can't double check your buttons.
nice.
So
Oh, good thing.
essentially what would be A is circle and hammer is square. But
Okay.
you can, it appears, use your weapon.
Yes.
Which has beams, which will make this far more efficient.
Yes, beams
And-
make it much easier.
I am actually glad I went ahead and got those 300 rupees because it makes the fact that I screwed up a lot less painful.
Right?
At least I...
Love how it just follows you around.
And we drop it off right there.
Okay. What happens if you try to use a normal bomb? Just
Head
nothing
up
happens?
Here. Yeah, nothing happens.
Ah.
And now we can finally come into this place. We will throw in first our bow,
And we get, what was it, silver arrows or something?
silver arrows, which are required for beating the final boss.
Oh yeah, I forgot this fairy was fat.
That is the curse.
Oh, what, she's cursed?
Yes.
Ah. I'm assuming she says that if you read what she tells you.
Maybe.
Okay.
She's cursed. Take my word for it.
Okay.
You can actually, I don't know if it works. Well, yeah, it does, because that's how I got the red shield. Never mind.
What's up?
I was going to say you can actually take, if you have a level 1 shield, take it
Throw
to
it
a
in here.
pond and throw it in and get a level 2, but then I realized that's what I did already, so
Yes.
oops. I'll stop talking now.
So we have a cool looking sword now?
So now we have the most powerful sword in the game. It does 4 units of damage.
Alright.
It is also golden.
Naturally, because nothing's better than a golden sword.
Actually, a golden sword would be extraordinarily impractical, but whatever.
I am aware of that.
Oh boy, I got hit.
Aw, no more beam?
No more beam, but as we already established earlier,
Beam kinda sucks.
beam only does 1 unit of damage. Also, I believe the golden sword has a longer reach.
Oh yeah, that's right, it did. I mean, not by like a ton, but...
So yeah, you have the first sword for dungeons. You know, it depends on if you count the sewer and the
And the
Hyrule
Hyrule
Castle,
Castle.
as a dungeon. If
Yeah.
you do, then you have that one for 5 or 4. Then you have the regular Master Sword for Hyrule Castle, and the first 4 dungeons. The first 4 dungeons, so 5 dungeons, and then the Golden Sword you have for 2 dungeons, and the Tempered Sword you have for 2 dungeons.
Alright.
So unfortunately, the more powerful swords,
You get for a much less amount of time.
unless you do sequence breaking.
Yes.
Look forward to that. Are you serious?
Nice.
God.
Can you not, like, bomb those guys after they're turned to stone or anything?
I do believe that Quake or something does kill them, but I don't know exactly what.
Okay.
And you do have to smash these in a certain order.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. And now the Quake, which is the second most important of the
Oh.
spells.
At least Quake looked cool when you used it.
So did Ether, I thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, with
All
Ether,
of them do.
No, they have cool screen effects and all that. Just Quake actually had, character effects.
To go along with it.
Yeah.
And pull on this claw. Or not. One of the claws you used to be able to pull on to get money. I don't know why it's not working, but...
Huh.
don't particularly care right now because we have 10 minutes left and I have to attempt to get through the last dungeon in the game.
Alright, well, we can do that.
Or the last crystal dungeon.
Yeah.
So, now that we have 10 minutes left, let us continue... Let us continue the discussion that we've sort of tangealed. Is tangealed
Last time?
even a word? I don't even know.
It's close enough to a word.
Point is, let's finish the... So continuing where we left off, the question for those of you who have forgotten is it... Sorry, I need to concentrate.
What is your opinion on the fact, or not, no, that's miswording.
There we go. Okay, what is your opinion on the current philosophy that a game needs to be capable of supporting a series? A new IP. Every new game needs to attempt to be a new IP.
I don't like that. I mean, some of them should be, sure. Because, a good series is always nice here and there. But you need the standalone games.
I think before I really... Before I scream, before I give my opinion, I want to list that the way I see it, it comes down to two pros, or really, there's one major, the biggest pro for both arguments, as I see it.
Yeah.
I'd like to list those, just,
okay.
To be fair.
Okay.
So as I see it, the pro for having something not be a series is that you can be a lot more experimental.
Yes, true.
You don't have to, I don't want to say put as much effort into everything, but if something is a failure, it's not a massive financial sink.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean,
now,
hell, that's how, fuck, what was it, Remember Me or some crap like that?
I don't know.
It was weird. It was good. It was weird. It was...
It's like, I don't know what game you're talking about, but...
Yeah, I know you don't. It was weird and slightly Frenchy, which kind of was weird, but whatever. But no, it was experimental, and it was one of the few that was just a standalone. There was no,
planned sequel before Game 1 came out.
Exactly. It was just designed as a single standalone game, and I liked it. I liked that fact that I could, start it up and finish it without, having to worry about a sequel or all this other crap, and just, start, finish, that's it.
Well, mind the sequel doesn't necessarily have to be a continuation of the story.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean... But no, even that one still goes along with they can be more experimental if they don't try and do that. Because that's, I mean, again, that's how that one was.
Now, I haven't listed the other.
Which is what?
Now, the pro for everything being a series is it's extremely disappointing. There we go.
Nice.
It's so often when making a first game, it's kind of like making a pilot episode. And this is why for people who watch a lot of TV, I don't, but I can see it a lot when I do watch TV.
What's that?
A pilot episode is not a very good representation of the series to come. Because they're still finding the characters, they're still finding the interactions, what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I feel like first games can be a lot like that. So often you get a game that has a good idea, but the execution is flawed. Take, for example, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is a game that the first game needed a sequel.
Yes.
Not because it was, demanded oh my god, sales or everything like that, but because it was a game that
It
was
needed
clearly...
it needed to figure out what it was going to do, and then the sequel came and actually did it correctly.
Mhm.
No,
And
I
then,
get that.
like, I believe it should have ended. Or
Mhm.
maybe not ended, but, because, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, Black Flag.
Yeah.
I think if they'd gone Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, and then Assassin's Creed Black Flag,
Yeah.
the series would have been fantastic, and then continued on with whatever came next. But the idea is only make a new game when you have a new idea or a way to refine your formula.
Yeah. I can get that.
But unfortunately, Assassin's Creed became the very worst, the biggest con for something
Is that every
being
single one?
shoehorned into a
just
series.
Yeah, it recycles everything.
Not only that, in particular, Dead Space was fantastic as a one-off game in the sense that it just tried something different. It was a little bit... It didn't really try something different, but it did nothing really wrong.
No, yeah.
It borrowed a lot from a bunch of other games, but it took it, it made it its own, and made something that worked.
Yeah, no, it definitely felt like its own game.
So bravo to that. And then they went and made Dead Space 2, and Dead Space 2 follows the horror trilogy thing, or just the trilogy thing in general, of being not as good as its predecessor, despite mechanically being better in some ways. And then Dead Space 3 happened, and it was just, oh, why? Why did Dead Space 3 have to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say money seems to be an issue, but it does kind of seem to be an issue. Where when it's its own thing, just starting off, it's a one-off. They can actually, invest effort into doing that and just getting it done. Whereas,
well, I wouldn't say it's that they invest effort. I would actually say it's the exact opposite. They don't invest a whole lot of money into the series, which means that the writers have more freedom to make, or the game creators have more freedom to make what they want to make.
Okay.
Whereas, sorry, I'm going to once again be having to...
Well, here's my thought. I might be wrong on this, but I would think that, if it's just going to be this one thing, you can go and you can do really whatever kind of unique and crazy things you want to do and give it a shot. You have your freedom, but I mean, hell, I was kind of off topic there. But you can... Crap, where was I going? I know I had something, and then you said yours, and I totally lost where I was going. That's depressing, because I know it was good, too. Fuck.
Yes! That always gave me nightmares. That was yet another one of those areas that perpetually gave me nightmares. I'm not even going to comment on that. Don't need to. But, like, part of what made Dead Space 3 so bad is that they invested so much money into it that it had to be a financial success.
Okay.
And when it comes to making something a financial success in the eyes of the publisher, what that means to them, typically, is broad appeal.
Yeah.
And what that means typically, or what that ends up being interpreted as, is taking systems and making them... I don't want to say casualized, because I hate that word. It's not...
But no, I agree. It makes it a little bit, more of a broader masses sort of thing.
Which goes completely against what we're talking about in terms of making the game unique. And that's
exactly
what happens when you end up with large budget projects.
There we go. That's where my thought was, and then I lost my thought. But yeah, if you manage to do your one-off, it's a one-off, there's not quite as much...
financial risk. That's what I said earlier as a pro of the thought.
Yeah, so you can do those more, unique and creative things, and you don't have to worry about being good for everyone. You can just actually make what it is you want to make. So I mean, I think that you do need those one-offs to develop and branch out and try new things.
And if you find one that finds something new and hits something off and is able to refine that,
go for it. If you
have let that be a series.
If you have something that's good enough to be refined and to make a good series out of it, a good series is always appreciated. You just don't.
Nobody's ever going to say no to a good new game.
Oh hell no. What they're going to say no to is when you make the same good game like 15 times and it stops being good. Like, Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty.
Also, I'm going to say something really quick for the game here, for the viewer. This is one of the few fights, interestingly, where you can completely fuck yourself over, because if you run out of mana, you're done.
You can't kill the elemental heads.
You cannot kill those two heads. So, it's one of the few fights where you have to be very conscious of your setup.
Nice.
So, sorry. Continue your thought. Oh, it's said already.
That was fast. No, my thought was a good sequel is always good as long as it stays a good sequel and it doesn't just become a recycle the same idea sequel like, the Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed.
Like, I don't even dislike Halo, or at least I didn't. I think they've gone a little overboard now. But when it was just Halo 1, 2, 3, and ODST, I thought they were spaced out well enough in each game.
It felt different enough.
On its predecessor enough.
Yeah, I don't. They felt different enough is the thing, especially ODST for me.
Yeah, ODST was a little side one, but.
But I mean, yeah, they felt.
Also, the Crystal with Zelda, yay! We're a little bit over time here, so unfortunately we will not get the last piece part in this video. Once again, our conversation ends up getting cut short, but sum up everything in one sentence. I would like to see more games take risks, but I would also like to see those games that do take a risk and appear to have something genuinely exciting be rewarded with a sequel.
I think my sentence is the exact same. I agree.
Okay, join us next time when we get the last piece apart and head to the final dungeon, fight the final boss. Everything ends next episode. See you then.